Let's go!
Hey everybody, Coach Scott here, and today my subject is titled No Limits. That's right, no limits. Today I want to take the limits off of you. And so I want to talk to you about exchanging troubles for credit. That's right, exchanging troubles for credit. You see, the Bible says in Romans 4 that Abraham believed God and it was credited to him as righteousness. And so I begin to think about that word credit and what that word really means, particularly as we live in a world of credit these days. Because many of us, we live on credit and we live on credit cards. And when we charge something on our credit card, what happens is the bank covers us until we can pay it back. And if you don't pay it all back when your statement is due each month, then guess what happens? The bank charges you high interest rates. So they tack on expenses and they tack on fees and they tack on interest. And therefore the thing that you actually purchased ends up costing more than it originally did. And so years ago, my wife and I made the decision that we would no longer charge something to our credit card if we couldn't pay it back at the end of each month. So what we did was we got out of the habit of buying things that we could not afford to pay for. So here's the question today. Is there some habit in your life that you would like to break free from right now? Maybe it's a behavior pattern. Maybe it's something like I had in my earlier days where I was spending what I couldn't afford and buying things that I couldn't afford. Maybe it's an addiction to something that's hurting your life. Or maybe it's even a bad attitude that doesn't honor God. So if that's you today, I want you to know there's real freedom. There's an opportunity for you today to break free and have no limits in your life. You see, when Adam and Eve disobeyed God in the Garden of Eden, the first thing God did was to cover them with clothing. You remember the story in Genesis? They needed credit. They needed to be covered. And when you clothe yourself with God's credit, which is called grace, by the way, you'll be protected and you'll be able to stand against the temptations in your life. You'll be restored and you'll be renewed. And the great news is that unlike the banks that charge you all these crazy and high interest rates, if you can't pay it back, your debt is already paid in full. That means God covers you in every area of your life. And as you cover yourself with God's credit, the grace, you'll stand strong against temptation. You'll walk in victory. You'll experience what it's like to live under the credit of God's grace and His fullness of life that He has in store for all of us. And even when we face struggles, and even when we face temptations, the Bible says that the righteous person may have many troubles, but the Lord delivers him from them all. That's in Psalm 34:19. So here's what I want to challenge you today. Keep God's credit card with you at all times. And remember that His card has no limits. And if you'll do that, I believe and declare that you will be all that you were created to be. God bless you guys. I'll see you on the next video. Take care.